Hello, great ones. Welcome to the Live and Be Great podcast. I'm your host, Latanya Sampson McDonald. I am a life coach and a registered marriage and family therapist associate. And this podcast was created to motivate, educate, and inspire all to live and be great. We made it, you guys. The season finale of season 2 of the Live and Be Great podcast. Wow, we did it. And I definitely hope you all have enjoyed this season, the previous season, and are looking forward to season 3. So, as promised, here is part 2 on how I found my passion for dancing. Okay, so we left off at the preparation for prom. And if this is your first time, pause. If this is your first time listening to my podcast, go on back. I promise it'll all make sense if you listen to the previous episodes, okay? This is a beautiful journey that my listeners have been on, okay? And I know it has inspired, I know it has helped, and it will do the same for you. I promise. Or money back guaranteed. Just playing. Okay, so preparation for prom. Dress was last minute. I mean, at least it was purple, right? Hair last minute. Just stress. Wow. Trying to get my mind right for the talent show and dealing with the heartbreak, the upset, because it's your prom. Like, oh my goodness, your prom. You're just like, I only get one prom. Like, most of us, at least that's the mentality, at the time. So it's kind of like you look at it like your wedding, your graduations, and things of that nature. So dealing with the trauma of that, didn't even know to call it trauma at the time. It was a lot, y'all. It really was. But I just did my best to push through. Since I was so last minute with everything, my best friends at the time, my crew, they had already planned, with their dates to get a limousine, and they lived closer to the school than I did. And, my mom was like, well, call them and see if you can ride with them to the prom. And, of course, they were like, well, if you're going to ride, you got to help cover some of the cost. And we just didn't have it. And then the limousine wouldn't even pick me up from my house. So it just didn't make sense to go with them, which was also like, oh my goodness, why me? Why am I going through all of this? Now I can't even go with the friends, and they all have dates, and I'm by myself. Oh my gosh, it was just a lot. Okay, so get dropped off to prom, and I am just like, this is ruined, but let me try to be here and be present. And it was very, very difficult, especially with my friends, the people I hang out with, talk to the most, the ones that didn't do the talent show with me. So it's kind of like we got less time with each other when it came time to basically say goodbye, right? And we venture off into our next phases of life. It was just very, very difficult. I was embarrassed because, of course, your friends know about the boy you've been talking to. If your parents don't know, your friends know. And it was just a lot to go through. But we were young, and I don't think they knew how to process. I didn't know how to process none of these things. It was just very hurtful. Okay. Um, and at the prom, I just tried to enjoy myself. They played Michael Jackson. Y'all already know I was up and ready. But it was just very, very, very lonely. And one of my friends from the dance team, her name is Sparkle. Um, the basketball dance team I was on, she kind of saw me and she came there by, excuse me, she came there by herself as well, but she was a junior. Um, but she came there and she offered to, take me back to her house and, you know, just I don't know. It was just it ended off nice because that was a sweet gesture. And my mom picked me up from Sparkle's house, and I got to sit and chat with Sparkle's mom and her sister, and they knew me from the dance team, so that was good, to end off the night. But guess what? I was focused on this dance. I was focused because the talent show was the next week. Okay, the next week. And I remember us getting the wardrobe together, and I'm telling the girls, listen, because remember I told you they just had a line against me. And these weren't my actual friends. They were like we were all friends of friends, basically. Um and, you know, they were like, we want to wear skirts. And I was like, the movements we're doing, you can't wear no skirt. And they're like, well, we're going to wear shorts under it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to wear pants because it was three of us. And I'm like, fine. I'm in the middle, a lot of the routines. Well, not really a lot of the routines, but it's three of us. I'll wear some pants. Okay. Cause I know, right? They ain't, I don't want no hindrances when I decide to rock this thing. Okay. So that was stressful. And I think I just had given up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out there and I'm going to kill it. Okay. And my brother's, one of the mothers of his children, came, and I was very close to her at the time when my brother was with her, and even when they broke up, um, for a little while, like we were close, and she definitely was like a big sister to me. Um, and she came to the talent show. My parents didn't come to the talent show, right? Brothers didn't come. Nobody came, but she did. And I don't know what it was back then that maybe they were at work. I cannot remember. I can't put my finger on it, but it just felt lonely, right? And my friends came to the talent show, which is awesome. The ones that didn't that weren't able to do it or just didn't want to do it, they came. And I was in band, so I had my band friends. It was just like they came, classmates came, of course all the seniors came, because this would be our last talent show. Okay. So it's showtime, right? It's showtime. And I can't remember if I mentioned my oldest brother. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Um, but he had discovered his passion for dance, right? And was able to um, really go after that. And he didn't realize it, I think, until he was in his 30s, right? But listen, my genes, okay, my family genes, we don't look our age, so don't matter. Couldn't nobody tell. And men in the dance industry, they're a hot commodity, so they can pretty much go on forever because it's kind of hard to find them because of the stigma when it comes to certain arts. Oh, this person may, be gay and things of that nature. Not that anything's wrong with that, but it's just difficult because people try you. Um, when they feel like you're different, period. Right? Whether you gay, black, woman, whatever. When they feel like they have some sort of power over you, they try you, right? So it's difficult, But that was the stigma back then, especially for men that wanted to dance. Like, oh, they question their masculinity, right? But I was very proud of my brother. Like, oh, that was the guy, right? And I have no idea why I didn't invite him to the talent show. I don't know. I think I was just used to doing things on my own, and at the time, my family, everybody had their own like stuff that they were dealing with. That when I look back now, it was just difficult, for us to really be there for each other in the way that we would hope, right? It was just difficult, and all is forgiven, even myself, where, I was self sabotage and just not invite people to stuff because I'm like, ain't nobody gonna show up for me, or there were times I just lost confidence in myself, but dance was always the thing that just brought me back to life. Always the thing. And this was being on those dance teams, and up until this moment of me doing my senior talent show. Man. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so talent show, we practicing, and of course, when it's big events, y'all, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. But that didn't stop me, okay? Based on who I am, my optimistic self, and when I'm determined, hey, listen, especially if something had just happened, that is I this is when I discovered how I was using dance, right? To fuel me. Um I would take everything that I couldn't describe, that I felt silenced, that I felt misunderstood, that I was hurt by, and I would put it into dance, right? Into the music, whatever arts I was doing at the time. Okay? So here we go. It's showtime, and it's time to go out there. And y'all, I was in a trance. You hear me? I was dancing for my life, and I need to manifest this tape of this this talent show. I know somebody got it from Stevenson High School. Somebody has to have a copy of that talent show because I lost it, and we had VHSs at the time. Okay, in the 2004, my senior year, we had VHSs at the time. So, somebody got it. Okay, somebody has it. I hope y'all move it to DVD. If you got the tape, listen, reach out to me at livingbegreat@gmail.com. Shoot me a DM, something, if you got the tape of this 2004 talent show. Okay, because I want to show people the growth. I want to show people this moment. If you have it, I'm going to manifest that. It's going to come to me. Somebody out there going to have it. Okay. All right. And when they do, y'all going to see it. All right. I'm going to let y'all know first when we come back for season 3, about that. But, okay. So talent shows in the gym, right? It's in the gym, and we're on the court, and the music is about to play, and I believe they kind of messed up on the music at first, but it didn't y'all, I don't know. I just stepped into a whole different character. You know how Beyonce got Sasha Fierce, right? Like, I don't know. I didn't know what to call, that version of Tanya. But it was just, oh, game on, right? And we're going, and I could hear people calling my name, but I'm not quite sure at the moment because I'm like, I ain't that popular in this. The whole high school, right, is in the gym watching this talent show, and I'm like, I'm not that popular, but I think I hear my name, but because me just thinking I hear my name, oh, adrenaline, boom, just killing it. Y'all, I was killing it. You hear me? I was lost, floating, okay? Um, Beautiful. And then next thing you know, it's kind of like I had a premonition something gonna happen because these girls got this skirt on and this move we about to do. And the move was, we took the move from the Usher video, yeah, where the girls do the jump up and they said bend over to the floor and touch the toes. That was the move that I told my two teammates we cannot wear skirts. Okay? Wear pants, but they didn't want to listen, right? And y'all, soon as they bent it over, cut the music and we got disqualified, right? And I'm not really, I'm upset, but it's not hitting me that much, right? Because I felt like I gave my all and I left it on the floor and I was just me. When I see other people perform, I'm really not focused too much on me anymore. I'm just excited and I'm cheering them on. That's just how I've always been when I see art, when I see, rappers, dancers, whoever that, I can see is giving their all, right? So, enjoyed the talent show. Excited for everybody, especially people who have not really been able throughout their high school years to really show off or get that spotlight of the other talents that they had. I was excited for everybody. It's kind of like we shared that moment, like we kind of graduated or were inducted into this freedom of what we can be, right? And showing people all we can be in the different parts of us and just being appreciated for that. And I have no idea. I hope the kids these days have those experience at their talent shows and their performances, but man, it was just beautiful. The atmosphere, the admiration for each other, it was just amazing. So the next day, well, that Monday, so it's senior week, and we got different events and things of that nature. And I come to school, and I'm getting stopped by people I don't know from different grade levels. Hey, you that girl in the yellow shirt that was in talent show last night? And I was like, yeah. Girl, you killed it. Girl, I was like, what? Oh, well, thank you. Right? And people that knew me, how you did that last, that was tight, right? Because that's the word we used back then. I'm trying to remember the words we used back then. Oh, but it just felt good. It just felt good to have people that I didn't know be able to recognize me for my talent. I, oh, cloud nine, right? And I believe we were having a senior picnic that day, so we all got to leave class early. And my best friend at the time, Chantel, um, she had a class with one of my teammates, right? That was on the did the talent show with me, right? And the the young lady, no, did she have a class with her? I can't remember if she had a class with her, but I know that her aunt was the psychology teacher and I wasn't in that class. And my best friend was in that class, right? And she said the teacher was like, y'all, did y'all see my niece getting down last night? And my best friend was like, yeah, she did all right. But that girl in the yellow, you said the classroom was like that girl in the yellow. Yeah, she was killing it. Like she's. I'm sorry. Then they was like the teacher was like, no, but my niece done. They was like, nah, nah. That girl in the yellow. So when my best friend told me that story, I was just like, really? Like I was noticed for that, and I can't. Crazy. So another one of my friends, named Jasmine, she was like, Tanya, did you hear us calling your name? And I was like, whoa. So I did hear my name called. And I'm like, it was very loud. And I'm like, I don't know all these people. So she was like, people, while I was performing, my friend Jasmine, she was like, yeah, Tanya, whatever, whatever. And she said people were asking her, what's her name? What's the girl in the yellow name? And she was like, her name's Tanya. So that's how I heard it was so loud, because people were asking, like, who you talking about? Is that the girl in the yellow? So, y'all, I've never experienced anything like that in my life before. To have people notice you. And yes, listen. You are supposed to validate yourself, but at that age, it's kind of like when you're learning what you're good at and what your gifts are, and you're trying to figure out your passion. That is the first step. People will tell you, hey, you good at this. Right? That's how you know you have something, right? When you get those compliments, when you're trying to figure out, am I really good at this, or am I just imagining things? Because that's how it can kind of hit you, right? Something that brings you joy when it comes to your passion can sort of, you could sort of feel like, okay, how do I know if I'm good at this? Or, I just know how it makes me feel when I do it. I know what the dreams, when I dream of myself doing this, like it could be, owning my own restaurant, or modeling, or, having some art piece, or singing, or whatever the case may be, problem solving, strategy, computer, whatever, right? It can be whatever that you can get lost in. The thing that you can get lost in, and hours can go by and you still off that happiness, right? You still at that peace. That is your passion, and that is what I get when I dance, okay? That's what I get. That's what I feel every single time. That peace, it's what connects me to my higher self, to God, right? That I know is my God-given talent, you know? Um, so there was another moment, I want to say that day or the next day. And listen, until I graduated, the compliments didn't stop from random people and from friends, and it just didn't, who were there. And even my brother's, the second mother of his children, even her was like, girl, I didn't know you could do that. Now, where'd you get that from? You did good. I'm like, well, thank you. Um, but okay, so I had this bully. I had this bully in class, and she know who she is. Her name's Kristen. Yeah, I gotta call you out, girl. But listen, we grown, we learn. I did some stuff that I wasn't proud of as well back in the day. Um, could have been a little mean with certain friends and things of that nature. Just projecting, not knowing really. But anyways, it's another conversation. So, Christian, was like, we were in class, and Christian was like, Tanya thought she was doing something at that talent show. And before I can even respond to her, okay, one of my classmates named Felicia, okay, was like, you need to shut up, Christian. She killed it, okay? You need to let that go. And then everybody else who see the talent show just joined in. And I didn't even have to say nothing. I just had to have this big old smile. Thank you, y'all. Yeah, yeah, girl, you did that. You know, she just jealous, right? So it's just, it was just a lot. Like, imagine, what it's like to be bullied and having to see this bully and take classes and see them all the time. You have a sort of anxiety, like what they gonna say today, what they gonna, like it could be very stressful at the time. And the fact that I didn't even have to open my mouth based off of me sharing, my gift, and people just really appreciating me for it and just letting me know that it was my gift. That's I'm good at it, right? That was beautiful. It really, really was. And y'all, just doing that, I forgot all about the prom. I didn't even care anymore. It was just the afterthought. It was something that happened. And I was just happy the way things played out with that talent show. I just was, because that is when I knew this is my passion and I want to do this forever, because it felt good and it made other people feel good watching me, right? And now I have the mindset that I'm older, that, man, when you're doing what you're passionate about and people see you in that, especially if, like, you had to have some fight, right? You had to build up that confidence to go after that passion. It heals people. It heals you, right? It really, really does. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And guys, I want you to hold me accountable because I'm definitely going to have a course that goes further in depth on how to find your passion, how to keep it going, how to not get discouraged, how to find ways to really live in it and get to your happiness, right? Because that has a lot of us broken and lost during this time, right? It just does. And, you know, um, man, things changed, right? Things will change for you, because things changed for me when I decided to really go after it. And no, it was not easy, because not only when you find your passion, you got the people who are too afraid, too afraid to go after their passion, right? That will discourage you from yours. And this will be anybody. It could be your parents, it could be friends or people you thought were friends. Um, it can be pretty much any hater, okay? Right? And me, I'm just like, I had to learn, because I experienced that throughout my dancing career, right? Even in college, me joining those different dance teams and things. And, I think I'm going to, I want to say, am I going to add the link? No, I really don't feel like it. I might add the link, right? If y'all are sending me good energy and I feel it when I'm finished with this finale. If I feel like I'm gonna get good energy, I will attach um my project that I did And this was a more detailed um version, right? This was a more detailed version of, I would say, my story, right? I might attach the cookie cutter version, or maybe not. It may not even be worth it. But yeah, I went through some stuff when it came to dancing, because even when it came to college, I told my brother that dance, I told him about what happened, and he was just so proud of me when I called him and told him. And yes, I was still with that darn person, the boyfriend at the time. I was still with them, and I was even excited to tell them the lessons we learned later on. Okay, but I didn't want to go to college. Like, y'all, I waited to the last minute to apply for college, because my oldest brother was like, that was dancing. He dropped out of college, by the way. But anyways, he was like, I'm not gonna help you with nothing if you don't go to college. I was like, dang it. Oh. So I was like, okay, at least if I go to college, I want to go to HBCU, and I want to make sure they got a dance team, dance something there. I don't know what the heck I want to major in. But I'ma just go because I want to dance. What you mean? It was the best decision though. It really was the best decision for my growth, for my life. Uh, and I got accepted. It was two schools. I got accepted into Albany State, and I got accepted into Savannah State. And Savannah State had a fine arts major or something. It was something that I was like, I'm gonna go to Savannah State. I cannot put my finger on it, but I know it had to do something with the arts or whatnot. But I was like, I'm going there, right? And of course, when you get there, because of the culture in Atlanta and in Georgia, you're going to see your classmates, a lot of your classmates there. So that was also exciting to see. But that was the only thing that got me to school. And when I first got there, my freshman year, I'm like, where the dance team at? Right? It was kind of too late to join the dance line, because you have to audition for certain organizations if you want to join as a freshman before you get there. So I had missed that, but I'm like, y'all got a dance line? I'm gonna find my way on that thing. Okay, I really, really am. And y'all, the journey, okay? But I don't want to get too into it, because the experiences I have, I might just have to put it in a book, y'all, because we'll be here for some weeks, okay? Trying to go through all of them things, okay? Just know I did struggle. Just know, yeah, there were times that I forgot that I was talented and I didn't feel good enough. And yes, there was some influence when it came to my mom, my family, and even certain friends, right? That was discouraging. Bullying didn't stop. Okay, college sometimes is like a bigger high school, depending on depending on things. It was just a lot, but I accomplished a whole lot. Okay, that accomplishing a whole lot, and me remembering that talent show, I have to be honest, that is what would bring me through. Like, even the story about me telling you guys that my coach had left, and me having to find and being determined to find somebody. Like, I kind of continued that when I ain't seen no dance team when I was in college. I continued that when I graduated, and was in a sorority, and would find ways to perform and choreograph, and just inspire people, encourage people, right, through this talent. Okay, it was amazing. It was just absolutely wonderful. But y'all have to stay tuned for this course. Okay, I'm definitely going to have it. I'm going to be working on that. And I just hope this story inspires you. I know it will. Okay, right? And of course, if you want more, if you want more, y'all got to get the course that I come out with. I'm going to try to come out with it at least by the end of this year. And I'm not quite sure when I will start up season 3. Just have to stay tuned. Y'all know, listen. I'm about what I say when I talk about working on myself and my continuous journey of healing. And if I ain't together, I ain't coming on here. Okay? I got to practice what I preach, and I have to really take self-care seriously with the work that I do. And if that's what I'm teaching everyone that listens to this podcast, if that's what I'm teaching, my loved ones, if that's what I'm teaching my clients, right? I gotta do it too, right? Practice what I preach. So that's where we at with that. But it has been a great season. It has been a really great season. Of me really being at peace. Y'all, it feels good. And I just want that for everybody that wants that for themselves, wants the peace and is willing to do the work to get it, is willing to sit down and listen to this podcast or to go to therapy or, just willing to dream about a better life and take the first step at it, right? I want that for everyone. Even the ones that don't even notice how great they are. Because I'll be honest, y'all, people can say whatever they want about you, but it's you at the end of the day that decides whether that's going to be your story or not. Whether you're going to give up or not, whether you're going to listen to the haters or not. It's you. And you got to be accountable for that, just like I had to be accountable for that. Okay? I couldn't let people's fears stop me. I'm not a quitter. I'm just not. And I am determined. And I know life has dealt me a certain hand. And I'm honored, at times, right? No, it wasn't pretty. I ain't like it. And yes, I hold people accountable for hurting me. But I do understand that it is for a bigger purpose. It was for something bigger than me, and you teach people how to treat you. And you can get to the point in your life where you don't have to experience that ever again, that doubt, right? Or when it does creep up, you already got your system together to pull you out of that darkness, be it your friends, be it you watching past performances of yourself, you having those nostalgic moments of when you overcame. That's what you use that for, okay? That's what you use that for. Those feel good emotions. And of course, a therapist or a life coach. That is going to keep y'all going where y'all need to go, okay? I promise you that. Like it has. I told you I ain't letting go of my therapist. As long as I'm here, I'm always going to have me a therapist or a life coach. I just am. Because why not have that constant support? Because we do have those days, where we forget, life goes on. You're faced with different life transitions and experiences, and they can be tough, but it's always great to have somebody in your corner that can remind you who you are when the world is trying to get you to forget. Okay? It's a beautiful experience. And I want y'all to go look at my dance videos. That's another thing that I had to overcome was my shyness with social media. How I post these days is it's completely different from before. Usually it'll be like, what's the best time and things of that nature, right? Y'all, now I don't care. Whoever sees it is supposed to see it, okay? For right now, when I'm sharing my dancing and things of that nature, it's to benefit the person that sees it. It's to inspire them, okay? That's what it's for. And whether it's 2 people or 1,000 people, I'm happy I got to share my gift with the world. right? So I'm not really focused on views and things of that nature as of right now. Now for my business, yeah. I gotta step up my promotion for my life coaching, and I want to expand it. I want to, even the people that I can't service, I want to connect them with people that can service them, that I have personally vetted, that have my, sort of mindset, so I know it won't steer them wrong. And I just have a lot to give, and I'm gonna give it. Okay, I am going to live and be great. And lead by example, just like I want all of you all to do. But I'm so happy that I was able to share this story with you all, about how I found my passion for dance. Okay. Um, and, I just hope it inspires you to at least, start. But listen, step by step, will be in the course. I'm going to do the course. I have to. Because why not? Okay? I have so much information to share with you all that is technically priceless. But yeah, the benefit, right, that you're going to get from these courses that I come out with, tenfold. Right? You're going to receive all that you desire tenfold if you follow the step-by-step process. Okay? So, I'm just excited for the future. I might, okay? After I get these courses together, I might go back to YouTube. I might go back to TikTok. That is also why, I'm just like, let me break for season 3 to see, like, how it's going to be different and how I can, just share the gifts, share the knowledge in bite-sized pieces, right? Because, why not, right? But to get deeper, to go further, that's going to be in my courses. That's going to be for my clients and, the people that I have that one-on-one with, okay? So, without further ado, I want to thank you all for listening. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys have a good rest of your year. And everything you want is yours. You just have to go get it. Okay? That's it. Please go with love, and don't forget to live and be great. Talk to you soon. The Live and Be Great podcast will be airing every other Friday. If you have truly enjoyed this podcast, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving Live and Be Great a chance. Please feel free to share, like, give a review, subscribe on whichever platform that you're listening to right now, on iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, as well as Google Play. The Live and Be Great podcast is strictly crowdfunded, so if you are interested in becoming a supporter, you can click the link in the description, or you can go to liveandbegreat.com and scroll to the bottom and donate to the Live and Be Great podcast today, so I can continue to give you good and motivational content. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget to give yourself permission to live and be great.